I just realised after editing this video I never did an intro, so this is it. It's a ride along on my thoughts whilst having a go on the Honda 1000R Plus Edition. It's Honda's Neo Cafe Racer. I love the look of this bike and was really keen to have a go on it. Unfortunately it decided to rain this weekend whilst having my go on it, but still I enjoyed it. So it's about an hour. Feel free to put it on in the background, just listen to me muttering along if you like. About halfway through the videos where I do a little walk around of it, but yeah, I have a motorbike video to share with you. Okay, so you join me on the 2020 Honda CB1000R. It's just starting to drizzle, so the weather's not that great. First things are, this stand is really awkward to get to. It's right underneath the foot peg. But, let's get things going before it completely lashes it down. So I've got it in rain mode because it's raining. Let's see how we get on. So I've noticed this mirror here seems to be loose. I just had a little fiddle with it to see if I can get it to do something, but it's not playing ball. Trying again to improve the audio a little bit, but we'll see how we get on. Okay. So originally was looking at a Honda CB650R, and I was all ready to look at getting one of those before the whole lockdown thing happened. I just closed the visor. That mirror is going to be stupidly annoying, but the prices haven't really come down on those, and Honda are now doing 0%. Oh, this weather, not good. 0% finance, along with like £1,000 contribution on the 1000. So, yeah, I'm trying to work out if it makes sense to consider one of these. Look at this, ridiculous. What can I do with that? Alright, well, we'll have a little go. This may be a really short review because I don't particularly enjoy riding in the rain, and also it's not my bike, so if I come off, one, I'll hurt myself, but two, you know, you've got to pay £1,000, so yeah, I'll keep that in mind. But it feels you know, pretty good, apart from this stupid mirror thing. Let's see if the weather sorts itself out. The throttle response is too bad, not too snatchy. Again, I'm in rain mode, so in the lowest mode. Here we go. That's Ross on Y. So this is the Plus model, so it does have auto blood pressure, quick shift up and down. Also has a radiator guard and other stuff. Heated grips are standard, rear seat cowl. And a wonky mirror, which is great. So we'll do a little walk around in a little bit, assuming it doesn't completely lash it down. Have a look around. This is in matte white, so the Plus comes in a matte white and a gloss black. If you want the non-Plus version, you can get black, red, and white, I think it is, or maybe silver, I can't quite remember. Put some information up on the screen. So just like the CB650R, it's they call it their Neo Cafe Racer. It's a naked bike, so obviously you've got no wind protection. I don't think you
well, I don't think even Honda consider it to be like a super naked. So it's kind of somewhere in between, you know, a middleweight and a super, I think. It's got lots of grunt though, but I don't think we're going to really feel any of that on this ride. Super silky smooth though, because obviously it's a 4-cylinder, and there should be a good amount of torque. So the engine they're using here is the old Fireblade engine that's then modified. So we'll just see here, we're in 6. Yeah, so it doesn't feel like you're going to need to drop it down or anything, you know, when you want to change gears. I mean, not when you change gears, if you need to accelerate a little bit. So there's a good amount of torque there. The question is, am I heading into the rain or away from the rain? I don't know. So the bike's done 229 miles, so the tyres should be a little bit scuffed up, but you know, you keep that in mind. And yeah, one thing I've seen on a lot of reviews is people not sure about what this light is doing over here. I think they call it the link light or the mode link light. You can configure it to do different things. Basically, you configure it to kind of tell you about the economy of your driving or your riding. You can also use it as a gear shift indicator, and you can also use it, I think you can set when you want that light to come on at certain revs and stuff. So like when you're running it in and you want to keep the bike below, you know, 6,000 revs or whatever, you can configure that so it doesn't kind of go over. So that's quite helpful. A lot of people also up here talk about the temperature, say, oh, the temperature must be wrong because it says 78 degrees centigrade. I think that's the engine or the coolant temperature. It's not the outside temperature. It's not broken. People just don't know kind of what they're talking about. Or haven't researched it, I guess, before they go for a ride on a bike. So we've got various different modes, and right now again we're in rain. So there's four rider profiles basically. You've got rain mode, standard mode, sport mode, and user mode. So the difference between all those modes is you're affecting the traction control, you're affecting the engine braking, and you're affecting the performance or the throttle response basically. And as you go through each mode, you can do that on the controller here, and it will kind of move along, which we'll have a look at later if it dries up a little bit. And then I think the only time you can actually fully turn traction control off is in the user mode. So you can set your own profile and turn traction control off, but every time you turn the bike back on again, the traction control will re-enable at least one block, so you're then going to have to adjust that. So, oof, it's a bit blustery. I feel like the rain's calmed down a little bit now though. Nice smooth gear change. Just try a little downshift with the auto blipper. That was really smooth. Up. Really smooth auto changer. That's nice. And I'm at like 3,000 revs, and it's silky smooth. That's nice. The gear change itself is pretty good anyway though, when using the clutch. Yeah, it's good. We tried some heated grip action out here, so just turn those on. Not quite sure how many user settings. We'll have a little fiddle around with that. Only thing, yeah, no, I think that's okay. You the indicator button's quite low down, so above the horn, so you're probably going to hit the horn a lot. Beep beep, sounds like a moped. Yeah, but here you got the mode button, and then the selector buttons on the left hand side, along with the pass light, full beam, and a hazard switch. On the proper left hand side here, there's a button you can press and hold to turn the traction control off. So again, during mid ride or whatever, you can do that. And again, if we look here, let me just how well you can see it on the dash. So again, we're in rain mode. If I press this select button, that's into user mode, into standard mode, and into sport mode. So again, we go back into rain. You don't feel any jerkiness or anything whilst changing mode whilst riding, which is nice. All those grips are getting toasty, especially the right one. And then on the right hand side, you've not really got too much going on, just you know, the kill switch and the start switch. So yeah, well, at least it's drying up a little bit as we head out here, so maybe it'll be raining as we come back, but the roads are dry here. And I wish I brought my toolkit, so I could have perhaps looked at doing something with that mirror. I can use it to make sure the camera's recording, maybe. So in a moment I will pull over and we'll have a little look around the bike, or maybe I might do that a little bit later. Actually, I want to make the most of the dryness before we go on. So in talking of mirrors, the mirrors don't quite sit out very far, so you know, 2/3 of it's full of elbow, so probably we'll look at, you know, some different mirrors, maybe some Barrow mirrors or some mirrors that stick out a little bit wider. I really love the style of these bikes though. You know, the Neo Cafe Sport Racer that they call it. It is a 50 here, isn't it? But yeah, I love the style. It's really easy to ride actually. I mean, I know I've only been on it a few minutes. I was concerned, you know, thousands, well, I think it's 996 cc's or something, but I think the fact it's being inline 4, it's really easy to ride, really easy. So yeah, that's just, and the engine sound actually isn't that bad. You know, it's Euro 4 compliant exhaust, so it's not gonna blow anything away. There's quite a few slip-on options. I think even Honda teamed up with a Krapovic, or Kropovic, however you want to call it. They've got 2 slip-on, one race, one road legal, that you can check out, so that's pretty good. Yeah, nice smooth bike. Just give this guy a little bit of room and then I'll see what it feels like. Yeah, really nice throttle response, really nice, but not jerky. It's not on or off. You can really control the power delivery. Let's see if there's we're going to 30 now, so a little gentle ride out. Hopefully this rain holds off. I came out this way in the past when I had a ride on the CB650R, so relatively familiar with the road, or at least relatively familiar with where I'm planning to go. The video I did of that got corrupted, so I never did put a video up. Maybe I could just do a talkie video, but not sure. Really nice and smooth. Just going to pop the visor open a little bit, see if I can hear the engine note a little bit better. Dust coming off that cement truck. Engine note is nice though, nice and smooth, very progressive, and the riding position is good. It's not 100% upright. There's a little bit of lean. How much can it be? 10-15%? Not a lot. So I thought like you'd be relatively comfortable on this bike. If we can get ahead of people a little bit. Oh, there's no traffic behind now, they're moving out of the way. So we'll try do a brake test in a minute. Camera is recording, that's good. Yep, there it is. Whilst we're sat here, so I'm 5'10" and I can flat foot it. So If you're 5'10", no problem. I think you can be, you know, smaller and taller and ride this bike comfortably. You don't feel, even though the pegs are obviously properly underneath you, you are kind of a little bit bunched up. So you've got a lot of ground clearance, but it's not uncomfortable. I think you could be on the bike for a while so far, and again, it's only been, you know, 15 minutes or so, but the seat feels relatively comfortable, and I think there is a decent amount of room on the back there if you want to have a pillion on there. Obviously this Plus version's got the seat cowl on as opposed to the pillion seat, so I can't really comment what that looks like. I'm just going to see if I can turn those heated grips down a little bit. I noticed there's a little indicator on there actually that says what mode the heated grips are in, so we're on level 3 now, so it must be 4 levels I guess. Yeah, level 2. Yeah, so there's 4 levels of grip heating that displays on the dash as well, which is nice. Hold on, how long do these lights want to stay red for? Got a little bit of traffic behind me, not too much. So just waiting here. The dash does seem pretty easy to see, so we've got rev counter around the left there in that kind of circular motion, gear indicator in the middle, and we've got the fuel gauge just off to the side of that as well, so it's nice to have a fuel gauge. As the lorry takes me out. Then we've got the time. I think there's different modes that we can set for that, we'll look at that in a moment. Then obviously the speedo, traction control, engine braking, and the P for performance. And yeah, it's water temperature up there, or coolant temperature, so 98 degrees centigrade the coolant temperature. Let's just see if we press mode. Yeah, so we've got trip, different trip modes, AB trip mode, and odometer. This is taking forever, man. Oh, right. Oh, I went to 40 now. Oh, dear. So where was I? Yeah, so different information on the screen there for different riding modes, different trip modes, etc. Then we go over to the time. Let me concentrate for a little bit whilst we go through these little bendies. Concentrate, be a good idea. Relatively dry through these leafy area. It feels planted, very manoeuvrable. So I think peak power was like up in the 8,000 rev range kind of area. So. But it starts pulling all the way from very low down though. It feels very rideable, very well balanced as well. Like going into these bends, you feel very confident. Well, I would feel a bit confident if, if it wasn't someone else's bike and it was a bit damp. But yeah, it feels good. Right, so yeah, different modes. So time, average speed. What the L stands for. Average miles per gallon. Not sure if that's showing how many litres are in the tank. No, it can't be, so I'm not sure what that does. And then back to the riding modes again. So a reasonable amount of functionality on the screen there. Nothing that's yeah, super amazing. It's not you know, a super sexy multi-coloured display. I don't think that's what Honda about reliable, enjoyable riding machines, and that's what this is. I mean, even in rain mode. Whoa, okay, that oh, that front brake's good. Let's just try, actually there's nothing behind us, let's just try the back brake. Yeah, the back brake's alright. Back brakes are never great, are they? But I think it's not bad, but the front brakes feel good. Yeah, so you gotta, they're really good. So yeah, have to remember that, otherwise you'll end up snatching yourself a little bit. Okay, so I'm feeling a bit more confident on the bike as we go along. Oh, those brakes are really good, really nice. And the throttle response is silky smooth, so easy to ride this bike, not intimidating at all. It does actually feel very familiar and very similar to the CB650R. I guess the performance is, yeah, you've got a lot more low end performance. I can feel that. You haven't got to rev the crap out of it to try and get what you need. Let's see if these lights are working properly. So what I will do is, let's try it up into standard mode. See how that feels. It's a nice pub. Nice looking pub, isn't it? Yeah, so for the 2020 model has this line up the front. It says CB1000R on there. Just a slightly different colourway. I think the 2020 model has a few reductions. I think it's slightly lighter. I think there's a little bit more performance in there as well. So I think they've done a mapping change. And I think they may have kind of adjusted the alignment a little bit as well to kind of alter the size of the bike a little. But yeah, who knows? Question is, these lights working? There they are. There is the freeway lights here, okay. Good chat for Mr. Postman. Let's try the shifter. Oh, that's good. A little bit snatchy change there from the quick shifter on the upbeat. Brakes are good, throttle response silky smooth. This is a nice bike. Right, back to rain mode. Just for a little bit, and also get, just see how things. I'm not really noticing a massive change. I guess there is slightly better engine braking. That's a bit, a little bit wiggly there, a bit damp. That's one thing that I'm still not sure if I like, and I've not seen any options to be able to turn it off on any of the newer Hondas that I've looked at. Is you've always got those front indicators on that I guess is to supposedly make you more visible, but I'm not sure if people get confused and think you're signalling and you're not. So yeah, this weather's not nice, and it does feel a bit damp underfoot. So I need to probably think about turning around in a minute. So we'll turn around, have a quick look over the bike, and I'm going to head back, maybe get a bit more dry weather back where we were before. So I think, if I remember correctly, there's a school not too far up the road from this place. We can pull over in, have a quick wander around. Yes, but not the best day to test ride a bike. How easy is it to find neutral on this? Yeah, pretty easy. Got the neutral indicator on there as well. Yeah, I think it was just up here on the right. There was some school or something that I pulled over at before. I'm not quite sure what mode you'd go into to mess around with that link light thingamajig. Yeah, I think it was up here I pulled in to last time. Let's have a little look. Oh, I'll just park over here. I don't think anyone's going to be too upset about us doing that. Okay. Good job. Right, so let's have a look. Get this down, side stand down. Have a little look around it. Show it's all about. So we'll move to the phone now, so you can see what's going on. So that's it. The Honda CB1000R 2020 edition in matte white. So you can see single swing arm. Down here it's a stock exhaust. Massive thing to be Euro 4 compliant, but the bike looks really nice. Really nice engine, 4-cylinder. Interestingly, this is the Plus edition, but there's no radiator guard on there. There should definitely be a radiator guard, but there isn't. Tokico 4-port calipers on the front, 2 large discs there. I'll just turn the ignition back on so we can see. I love the lights on this thing. So you can see there the 2 indicators on. You get the nice kind of halo, kind of modern slash kind of retro styling that I think works really well on this bike. The only thing I'm not mega sure about looks wise is that back rear hub on the single swing arm, but here's what it is. Massive silencer under there. So this is the seat cowl that comes on the Plus edition, so it makes the tail look pretty tidy, and then a rear guard on the bottom there. But this is the colourway going all the way up the middle. On the previous one you didn't have this, they had kind of this colour over the sides, so it didn't look too bad. So we look here, here's the dash as mentioned earlier, here's the revs, gear indicator, fuel, time, coolant temperature, this is the speed, traction control, engine braking, performance or throttle, and the odometer, different lights for ABS and traction control and everything. As I mentioned before, on the trigger here is to be able to turn the traction control on off, so you can press and hold that. Hazard lights, the button for the heated grips is standard, horn indicator and whatever. So we can see here as we look through, if I press the mode button, you can see that line jumping around, so up to rain. This is how we kind of filter through the different things. So you can see here in rain mode we've got full traction control, pretty much full engine braking, and only one blab of the performance. We go to standard, a little less traction control, same engine braking, improved performance. And then if we go to sport, we have kind of traction control down to 1, full performance, 1 engine braking. And if we go to user mode, this is where we can configure our own stuff. So pretty straightforward. Again, this strange little blinky light that people seem to be confused about. But yeah, and the start switch. So I'll start it up again. You guys can have a little hear of what it sounds like through the mic of the phone, which isn't going to be fantastic, but better than nothing. So I think it sounds pretty good. One thing that people may not be super interested in, but I like the fact that look how easy it is to get to coolant and also to get to that oil filter. It's going to make it super easy to maintain. So that's it. I'm going to hop back on and start the ride back. But that's it. The Honda CB1000R 2020 edition. Okay, so it's a bit annoying about the weather. It's annoying about this bloody mirror too. Oh, and I stalled it because I'm not paying attention. Right, pay attention. Right. Okay. Still in rain mode because it's damp. Let's just see about the turning circle. Actually, it's not. Turning circle is actually not too bad. It feels relatively good. Again, the throttle on the clutch isn't too snatchy, which means turning around doesn't feel too bad. Right, okie dokie. The bike sounds nice. It sounds nice. I wonder what it would sound like with the aftermarket. I don't think you need a full system, not unless you're really trying to get some extra performance. But you know, I think just a slip-on would make a bit of difference, even for nothing more than just to make it look nicer. It's a bit of a monstrosity, that rear silencer. Is this lady planning to go somewhere if we're going or not? No, I'm not sure what you're doing. So smooth, this bike. Really nice and smooth. I can feel the dampness on the road. Depending where we are with the rain, you know, I might be able to get to a bit where the road is drier again and the tyres can dry up a little bit, and in a straight line we can see again what that mirror's annoying. See what the sport mode feels like, but it's I'm extra cautious. Even if this was my own bike, I'm just not a I'm a fair weather rider. I don't particularly enjoy riding in the wet conditions. Oh, a little bit jiggly there. So in some ways the suspension is a little bit, I don't know, soft is the right word. It doesn't feel firm. Oh dear. It's a little bit unsettling a little bit in some of those corners actually. But again, probably because I'm just not used to the bike, but and again, if you watch my channel, you know, I'm not a really experienced motorcyclist, so I'm just giving my honest opinions as I go for a ride on it, and you know what I think. And I think it's a lovely bike. Rainy Saturdays. The forecast for tomorrow is not too bad, but they're not open on Sundays, so Saturday it is. There's a... yeah, no, there's no... I was just trying to decide if there's any kind of vibiness. There's not really any vibiness at all. I mean, you're on a motorbike, so you're going to feel some vibration, but it's not like in the 2 cylinders that I've ridden. Oh, hello again, Mr. Postman. I do like those brakes though. That front brake is pretty awesome. Really, it's just a shame about the weather. He's getting out of my way again. Fantastic. It's really annoying for me not having that mirror functional. So I keep going to look to see where the other vehicles are on my left, and I can't see anything. We will call that chest mirror. So these bits of roads are a bit drier. Oh, I spoke too soon. There's a damp patch. So again, just taking it easy, throttling down for the corners and gently throttling out as we go. Well, the bike definitely, again, I'm not an expert, but it feels very manoeuvrable, very chuckable, and I think it inspires confidence. I'm not sure you'd want to go and get this bike, you know, the day after passing your test, but I don't think you need to have been riding, you know, 2 years or something before you get one. Oh, bit progressive that corner, and I wasn't ready for it. I really hope the audio is better in this video than the Yamaha video I put up recently. So I'm using the same setup, but I noticed that one, I've repositioned the microphone in my helmet, so hopefully it's a little bit less muffled. Also put the wind muff on there, and also the Rode mic I'm using. I noticed that there was a little bit of a split in the connector, which I think is why I was getting the crackling towards the end. So I've hopefully fixed that as well, and I'm hoping that's made things clearer. Also, it lowered the input volume a little bit, so I can adjust that in post if needed. So yeah, we'll see how we get on. Nice and quiet though. Nice bit of road. Just a shame it's damp. I'm sure maybe some of you are going, come on, it's not that wet. But, you know, ride safe. I'd much rather get back in one piece than try and do something stupid. Back to the strange lights again. So things are a little bit drier down here now. Let's set someone else in front of me. And okay. They work on this side. Okay, so I'm going to switch this up into standard mode. See how we get on. Again, that mirror is so annoying. Should have brought some electrical tape with me. I could have taped that up. Yes, I think the only thing I don't like about this bike, it's only an issue when you come to stop riding. That's the location of the stand. But it feels very comfortable, and the way that the tank is in there, it's a nice comfortable riding position. I like it. I like it a lot. I think the thing that's difficult to get on this test ride for me is that I'm not getting anywhere near to experience what this bike is really like in terms of differentiating it from like the 650R, just because the conditions don't allow for it. But I can tell it's a very usable bike. I think it's not a bike that you're intimidated by the amount of power it has, and thinking that you have to be a hooligan. And I think that's the thing about Honda. Again, I'm not an expert, I just don't think they make hooligan bikes. I think they make powerful bikes that are very usable every day. So you can be just commuting to work and it's going to do fine. If you're going to take a trip around Europe, it's going to be fine. Just very usable, good build quality, reliable. Yeah, still not quite sure why this one doesn't have the radiator guard, but it doesn't. So I think the Plus version is about £1,000 more than the non-Plus version. As I mentioned, you're getting heated grips, the rear seat cowl, radiator guard, also the quick shifter. The quick shifter on its own is about £850. So I think it makes sense if you're planning on getting the quick shifter anyway, just get the Plus. Oh, it's got five stages actually for the heated grips. Oh, it's raining again. I just suddenly thought to myself, oh look, it's a bit better now. I was wrong. I'm glad I brought my waterproof jacket, because I'm going to be a damp boy when I get back. I'd be interested to know in the comments, have you got a CB1000R, the normal one or the Plus edition? How do you find it? What issues have you had? It's a very nice bike to ride. It also doesn't seem to get that hot, which is good. Like, I don't feel like my legs are cooking. and my hands feel, well, nice and warm with the heated grips on, but there's no numbness in my hands or anything. It's good. Let's just slow it down a little bit. Just another quick. Yeah, it's difficult to tell what this might be like. I smell breakfast at the breakfast van. Maybe if I can get the audio sorted out on these videos, I might have the opportunity to test more bikes over a longer period of time or something, but still struggling to master that. No, this is a nice bike, and definitely feels, again, the power delivery feels smoother and more usable than the 650R that I tested. Even the 650R, I think, that's got more than enough power, for on the road. And you're never going to get the, well, I guess it depends what your thought process is, but you're never going to get a full maximum power out of this bike on the road. I don't think. You have to be someone that's interested in track days and stuff, and I'm not really sure this is a bike. It's a bike you can do track days, and I just don't think that's what your main purpose would be if you bought this bike. It's just going to be a bike that is comfortable to use. My arse has gone a little bit numb, actually, a little bit gone to sleep. I'm not sure what aftermarket seats you can get and stuff, but I think you could do a road trip on this bike. Obviously I haven't been able to test it yet. I don't think there's any good enough bits of road actually in this weather to test it at motorway speeds. Oh, that's the other thing on the Plus Edition, you get this little, it's not really a wind deflector, is it? It's something. But yeah, you get that as well. But it doesn't, you don't feel too much like you're getting blasted with wind. I think it's nice. Yeah, I think it's down here we went, wasn't it? So let's just see if I can't yeah, it's nice smooth bike. I just wish the weather wasn't absolute guff. Oh dear. Takes a little bit of getting used to me, because, or for me, because I'm used to having the front controls like I have on my Indian, but it takes a few minutes. But I do have to suddenly quickly remember where that gear selector is. Who'd have thought it's pretty much summer? Yeah, very smooth, very rideable this bike. It is nice. Ooh, under that pothole quite nice actually. I think, again, maybe that's what, still think back to this, what this bike's purpose is. I think it's a very nice, smooth, rideable bike. Especially on the English roads that tend to be pretty crap. And the English weather. Why is the weather always rubbish at the weekend? Oh, I can't check the mirrors because that guy's got my ass. I think I might have supposed to have gone that way. Yep, I need to turn round. Oh, that felt a bit better. I can't quite remember how far along this road goes before I turn. Ah, there we go. We're coming here. Come in here. As my floppy mirror does not help me a single bloody bit. Right. Sport mode. Not out in front of the lorry. Bit difficult to see on that bush there, but okay. Oh, yep. Okay. That was better. Yeah, so the throttle response is definitely more snatchy in sport mode. So if I just tweak it, if you're gentle with it, actually it's not too snatchy, but you've got to be consciously gentle with it. So I will go back to standard, just because I want to concentrate on riding in the rain, not worrying about too twitchy on the throttle there. But wow, yep, that's where you felt the power there in sport mode. I mean, I think the power's there in every mode really, but just it's a lot more available to you. Obviously having that quick shifter just means you can focus on riding, keep those hands firmly on the, oh, over there now. Ugh. I'm not sure if this bike has the slipper clutch like the CB650. I'm going to assume it does. I think I like this bike best in black. Actually, I think I like this bike best in red, but red isn't available in the Plus. I don't quite understand why Honda have done that actually. Why have they decided that if you got the Plus, you can only have 2 colour options, but if you don't want the Plus, you got 3 colour options? Why can't you just have Plus in any colour? All it is accessories. There's nothing else different. All you're doing is putting on a quick shifter, seat cowl, heated grips, radiator guard, and little crappy wind deflectory thing. Why can't I have whatever colour I want? Does not make any sense to me. And I keep looking in that mirror that doesn't exist. Stupid flappy thing.
Thanks for watching this video. A thumbs up would be really appreciated. If you're interested in other geek type videos, please consider subscribing to Spectrum Geeks. Why not also follow us on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. And before you leave, why don't you check out one of these other videos that may be of interest. Thanks again for watching.